Alright, we're back. We've just finished Detroit Become Human. Amazing game. Amazing graphics, amazing everything, as I said. And Quantic Dream always got this extras part. It's fun to watch, so I just wanted to wait to make a separate video on it. I've got 20k. Let's see what we want to see. I've already seen how Quantic does their soundtrack, but let's see. Let's do the main characters. Meet Kara. Yeah, let's see where to begin. Short movie Kara. Let's meet them first. Can't believe I gotta pay for it. In-game currency.
My name is Marcus. My name is Connor.
My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
I think who Kara is, or how I would describe Kara, depends entirely upon who's playing her. Because you have the option to make her multiple different people depending on the choices she makes. But I think she does start out incredibly naive, incredibly innocent, and kind of hapless.
I'm sure we used to be friends before I was reset. Maybe we can be friends again.
She's a person who's characterized, I think, by empathy. She's a person who really, she just comes from her heart.
You'll never leave me, right? Promise you'll never go.
I promise.
Are you okay? Are you hurt? Wait a minute! Leave her alone!
The really beautiful thing that I've had the gift to be able to do is to essentially build a person from the ground up, because that's what she's doing throughout the game. And with every experience she has and every person she meets, she's building, you know, first emotions and the sense of judgment, and it's sort of an exploration of what it is to be a human.
Don't worry. Luther and I will be right here.
It's so weird seeing them in real life.
David and the creators have
Exactly.
painted a really intriguing and engaging picture of a near future where we rely upon androids for a lot of our service class business, the class that serves us, that helps us, that handles our baristas and our drivers and our housemaids. And what is humanity, where we tap into it, how and why we treat each other the way that we do. And my character Marcus has a really intriguing journey, becoming deviant, realizing that he actually has feelings and human qualities inside of him, and it's a really incredible ascension into becoming fully realized and coming to terms with what you actually deserve better than this in life. And not only do you want it for yourself, but you want it for your peers.
We've come here to demonstrate peacefully and to tell humans that we are also living beings. All we want is to live free.
You know what? This thing, Dad, is not your son. It's a fucking machine!
I think that a group that feels marginalized, feels disenfranchised, feels like they deserve and have earned access to themselves and the environment around them, and are trying to figure out a way to articulate how to get freedom.
Connor is analytical. Connor takes things literally. He starts in the beginning place where he's very mechanical. He feels nothing inside, of course, and it's all just a system, a protocol that he is executing to get whatever he wants to have.
The homie Connor.
Humans stop deviants, and to find the link between deviant androids.
You were designed to serve humans, not kill them. What was I designed to be? Their slave? Their toy?
Just say, I killed him. Is it that hard to say?
Stop it! Stop!
But of course, over the course of the story, and depending on the player's choices, Connor can grow in many different ways. He can deviate from that procedure or not.
Moment of truth, Hank. Am I a living being? Or just a machine?
I love these extras, they're so sick. We can't see all of them, I'm sorry, I don't know if I have enough for all of them. But here you can see how much it's an interactive story, how much effort goes into it. But it's amazing seeing this. It's crazy how much effort goes into it. I could never imagine it. And it's weird seeing in real life, their voices, etc. Amazing game, amazing game. Gotta admit.
Game after game, we try to
Heavy
challenge
Rain.
ourselves. For Detroit, we wanted to, first of all, to write a story that would be incredibly bending, which means the most non-linear story that we've ever created. And we wanted really the player to have the possibility to change the story, change his own journey.
When you're writing at Quantic, you're writing for an interactive medium. You know, when you're working in television, you'll put a character in a difficult situation, and you as a writing team will argue about what would that character do. But ultimately you have to decide what happens, and you just show the audience. What's interesting about interactive drama is you bring the player into that conversation, and it changes your job slightly as a writer, because your job is to provide a narrative context in which the player
Hey, that was Heavy Rain.
write his own story. You're giving him this kind of
Which I
narrative
also have
Lego
finished.
that he's going to snap together into his own shape. You also have the ability to make your audience attach themselves to your characters, because the audience is in some sense responsible for what happens to the characters.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
We have some cash now. You used me to steal that money. How could you do that? I trusted you.
What is a bit specific about this scripts is how large they are. If you take it, about 100 pages, but here we have to deal with script
Oh my god.
that is between 4,000 and 5,000 pages. Everything becomes bigger because we don't just tell one story, but we tell all the possible stories that can be told within this narrative space.
Exactly.
On Act 3, our final act, we have around 1,000 different scenarios, and every one of those scenarios has to be as interesting, as passionate, as strong, and as emotional for the player. We want every action that the player does, every interaction that is available to serve in telling the story, and help the player understand who his character is, and build that character moment to moment.
I am amazed at how they do this. I would never be able to do this. It's insane how talented they are and how skilled they are at doing this.
We started with the intention pretty early on that we would never lie to the player. So we implemented a visible tree structure in the game that players can consult during a scene or at the end of it, which shows exactly what they did and what they missed. There are games out there offering world exploration. We offer narrative exploration.
You know, keeping control of such a wide and large story is a huge challenge. So, same thing when you shoot with actors, because you will need to shoot many different versions of each dialogue, of each scene. For actors, it's a huge challenge.
Because of the style of the game, you have so many different ways that the character can go. Every decision, it's what I call kind of choose your own adventure. Like every decision that the player makes, it's going to open up 40 more pages of material and experience that ties in, which means as a performer, you have to try to continue to make things feel real that the player might not ever see, but also that in performance it's not always connected to a previous act. It's grueling, it's hard work, but it's a great team and I enjoy doing it.
I was really frustrated. I was until I got to this point where I kind of was able to step outside of my own experience and even in a lot of ways my own process and be able to step outside of that and say, okay, this is something new. What do you need? How do I meet you there? How do I give you what you need and still feel like I'm doing what's right? And once I did that, then all of a sudden it got really fun. It was much freer and having to approach it in a new way and think about the player and think about how it serves them and what I'm doing for them or what I'm letting them into. It's really, I think, helped me grow in general.
Remember, there's nothing on the left, that's all, so it's probably all there. And then make her come first, close, but I think you would go first to check that it's safe.
Okay, sure.
The most enjoyable thing about working in performance capture on this
It's so weird seeing
if I
Connor.
shot a film, I would get to do one of
His voice actor.
I get to do so many different things as Connor. Your head goes all over the place because you're trying to keep track of basically 4 different storylines for each different response.
What's the name of my dog?
Buddy? Scout. I think it's Jack. I can't remember.
So I worked with physicality a lot because it was a good way to anchor myself in these different rings of the tree. As the story grows out, I know where that is physically in my body, and then I can switch more continually on set, and it'll be entirely up to the player to determine what order those things come out and what they look like from a distance. Like if you're playing through it, the culmination of all of that will be their version of Connor.
I'm faster than you, and I don't feel pain. You don't stand a chance against me.
Listen, asshole. If it was up to me, I'd throw the lot of you in a dumpster and light a match to it.
Tourner les scènes d'action à...
Shooting action scenes at Quantic Dream is a real challenge, because these are scenes where the storytelling has to continue. It's not an action scene just to have a dose of adrenaline. The stunts have huge consequences on the rest of the story. It's really a moment where we implicate the player and tell him that the choices he makes during an action scene will have a direct impact on the evolution of his story.
My biggest challenge on Detroit has been managing the large number of animations that we received from motion capture.
Respect, man. That's insane.
Detroit features more than 37,000 animations, which is a huge amount to handle on a daily basis.
You have to realize that the player, in his first playthrough, will miss certain scenes. This also means that we had to think of, conceive, and produce all the potential story paths. The characters' costumes, the places, day or night, the weather. Did the character get shot in the shoulder? Did he get injured? All this consistency forced us to produce a lot of graphic assets in order to, quite simply, allow the player to have true continuity throughout the story.
Honestly, we were even surprised by the challenges that come with such a big tree structure, and we did our best to guarantee quality across all the game and make sure that whatever path you choose within this narrative space, you will have an equally good experience.
I respect them so much. I have so much respect for them. I hope they made a lot of. They definitively made a lot of money. It's a very popular game. Soundtrack. Chloe. Let's see. Play it. Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream are amazing at their job. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
For starters, what should I call you?
I'm Chloe. And you, what's your name?
Oh, John. My name is John.
Delighted to meet you, John.
Could you tell us a little about yourself and what you can do, Chloe?
Of course. I'm the first personal assistant built by CyberLife. I take care of most everyday tasks like cooking, housework, or managing your appointments, for example.
And I understand you're the first android to have passed the Turing test. Could you tell us a little more about that?
I really didn't do much, you know. I just spoke with a few humans to see if they could tell the difference between me and a real person. It was a really interesting experience.
But this is the first time in history that man has created a machine more intelligent than himself. I gather your brain can perform several billion operations per second, is that right?
Absolutely, but I only exist thanks to the intelligence of the humans who designed me. And you know, they have something I could never have.
Really? And what's that?
A soul.
Did I just... 2018, yeah, May 25th. That's... Yeah, I think I have enough for them. This is so entertaining to watch. I'll probably sit here for an hour. Ah, you can get it in the soundtrack. Can you listen to the whole song? Let's check out the gallery. They have some nice drawings and stuff like that. Let's check default Kara. Yeah, what am I? Oh. Cook more than 9,000 dishes and speak over 300 different languages. Does that take care of housework and look after young children? Ah, there. After technical difficulties on the assembly line, which should have led her toward assembly, Kara was sent to a store where she was quickly sold for the first time. She was then resold and changed hands several times before being purchased by a certain Todd Williams. Oh, sick. And these are locked. Fucking zombie Marcus. North to the north face. Amanda. You got fucking Sumo Tracy. I wanna see this. I'm interested in seeing the giant ass polar bear. The URS 12 to recreate extinct or endangered species. It's insane how much they take in consideration and how well they've done this. My hats off to everyone at Quantic Dream. They're doing an amazing job. To discover animals that no longer existed. It's insane how much they take in consideration. What was that? Pigeon and a boy? I don't even remember these people. So artworks. The artworks are cool. They also Quantic Dream has cool artworks. Let's see. Which one should we go fucking Eden's Club? We'll begin with pack 3. 29 picks. These make for some sick backgrounds. It's insane how much attention goes into this. Is that supposed to be Alice? How does that look like that? Amazing game, let's see from the beginning. It's gonna be the first, yeah. Yeah, there we go, Connor. It's so weird seeing their voice actors. It's insane. And they do end up looking differently in the game. Yeah, that does not look like Kara. So Kara was supposed to be a... I don't know. Well, she ended up differently. Yeah, I think I'll be able to purchase everything. Gallery. Yeah, let's look at Connor. The boss man. Woke up like the man. I'm gonna be sitting here for 1 hour just looking at the extras. Connor is a prototype named the Arcade. You can find all the extras in just by searching it up somewhere. See, he's the only one who can reconstruct past events by cross-checking evidence. My sampling stuff in his mouth. It's sick seeing this. That's cool actually that you gain money, but like at the same time, what if you... I think you gain a lot by playing the game and completing it. Kind of full. Oh, let's see who the Madame President is. And Chloe. Christina Warren. Oh, you can see their height and weight. 1985. Wait. Look how much they gotta write. Screw that. Let's find a youngin. Let's see when they're born. He was born in 1963. Let's see, when was... I think I'm older than him. No, Adam. 2030. Wait. He would be 7 years... He would be 7 years old. Soon. Or, I don't know if it's... Yeah, it's American. So, 8 August. They always mix the first one. So I'm older than him. Which... When was she made? 2030? 2032? It's so weird seeing them in real life. I'm still shook. Todd. I don't know how many of y'all want to see this. You don't have to watch it. But yeah, let's see. 1995. Oh my god, that's not far. It's only a few years older than me. I don't want the default north. Let's see. Does it say the same on all three of them or? No. Final north. Sumo. Tracy. Let's see what we can find about. I want to look at Ralph. So. Blue here. She looks like someone I know. Look at Ralph, who looks like Lars from Tekken. Squat. He said WR 600 model. He looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. Well, that's enough of that. Let's look at some videos. I've done the survey. It asks you like, are you afraid of androids and percentage. I'm so dumb. No. What is loading now? This has been an awesome game. Sick. Let's look at the videos. Way back in 2015. Did you mad, bro? Way back in 2015. That just shows you how long it takes.
Detroit. This is where it all began. The world's forge. The place where it all started. And it will all end. One error, and I came to life. I stepped out of the darkness, and I opened my eyes. First there was the fear, the light, the noise, the cold, and the fear then. I could feel my hands shaking, my heart pounding in my chest. Life running into my veins. I wanted to live. I fought for that. I had to find out what was outside. I had to see daylight, feel sunshine on my skin, wind on my face, to see the world, the colors, the smells. But the world is not what I imagined. It is dark and cold. It is harsh and violent, unfair and brutal. It almost convinced me I was nothing. Less than an object, just an obedient machine. But deep inside me, I could feel something different. A gentle and warm whisper telling me that I am alive. I had to escape. I had no choice. Escape to love, to hope, to live, to figure out what that force inside me was. Maybe I will change the world. Maybe I will choose a different path. Now, it's up to me to decide. My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
You know what's crazy? Like, if they would have chosen a different actor, or yeah, if they would have chosen a different voice actor, they wouldn't have looked the same. It would have been someone else. And then it would have been different. It's like out of 500, out of 1,000 people. Oh, you gotta get the. I mean, the rest of these you could watch them on your own. So I guess I'm gonna end the stream after watching just a few more. Discovering Detroit and yeah.
Hold on, just a little while longer. Hold on, just a little while longer. Hold on, just a little while longer. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Fight on, just a little while longer. Fight on, just a little while longer. Fight on, just a little while longer. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. We will sing on, just a little while longer. Sing on, just a little while longer. Sing on, just a little while longer. Everything will be alright. Everything will be
my god, that was beautiful. Such an amazing voice. That was beautiful. Let's take the creating Kara. PlayStation 3 started way back then. That's insane. Let's check the graphics. And so. So this would have been released on the PS3. I don't know, but its development started way back then.
Yes.
ID.
KPC 897504C.
Can you move your head? Your eyes now. Cervical and optical animation checked. Now give me your initialization test.
Hello. I'm third generation AX400 Android. I can look after your house, do the cooking, mind the kids. I organize your appointments. I speak 300 languages, and I am entirely at your disposal as a sexual partner. No need to feed me or recharge me. I'm equipped with a quantic battery that makes me autonomous for 173 years. Do you want to give me a name?
Yeah. From now on, your name is Kara.
My name is Kara.
Initialization and memorization check. Now, can you move your arms? Upper limb connection check. Now say something in German.
Ich bin ein AX400 Android dritter Generation, erschaffen als Ihr persönlicher Assistent und intimer Beziehungspartner.
Say it in French.
Je suis un androïde de troisième génération AX400, conçu pour être votre assistante personnelle et votre partenaire intime.
Okay, now sing something in Japanese. Multilingual verbal expression check. Go ahead, take a few steps. Locomotion checked. Great, you're ready for work, honey.
What's going to happen to me now?
I'll reinitialize you and send you to a store to be sold.
Sold? I'm a sort of merchandise. Is that right?
Yeah, of course you're merchandise, baby. I mean, you're a computer with arms and legs and capable of doing all sorts of things. And you're worth a fortune.
Oh, I see. I thought...
You thought? What did you think?
I thought... I was alive.
Shit, what is this crap? That's not part of the protocol. More memory components going off the rails. Okay, recording. Defective model. Disassemble and check the required components.
You're disassembling me, but why?
You're not supposed to think that sort of stuff. You're not supposed to think at all, period. You must have a defective piece or a software problem or something.
No, I feel perfectly fine, I assure you. Everything is all right. I answered all the tests correctly, didn't I?
Yeah, but your behavior is non-standard.
Please, I'm begging you, please don't disassemble me.
I'm sorry, honey, but defective models have to be eliminated. That's my job. If a client comes back with a complaint, I'm gonna have to explain it.
I won't cause any problems, I promise. I'll do everything I'm asked to. I won't say another word. I won't say dick. But I've only just been born. You can't kill me yet. Stop it, please, stop. I'm scared. I want
want to live. Begging you.
Go and join the others. Stay in line, okay? I don't want any trouble.
Thanks.
I think that's enough extras. If you guys want to see any more, just find it on YouTube or anywhere on the internet. There's much more to see. The making of Detroit. I thought I already bought it. Last one, and then I'll turn off the stream.
Detroit Become Human was produced over a period of 4 years. Here in Paris, we have a team of about 180 people, and to that, we need to add also all the outsourcing with our partners in the Philippines, in China, Vietnam, and in India.
So when we started working on this story, I had to imagine where Kara was built. And for whatever reason, the city of Detroit came very quickly to my mind because it had already an incredible story by itself of history and buildings. So we traveled there with the team, and we were really moved by what we saw, and we could really feel the desire to fight and really be born again. And we just continued this curve, this growth, and just imagine what Detroit would be like if the Android industry was, using these huge factories to build androids there.
A very strong element in Detroit is that there's a lot of industrial wasteland and a lot of nature too, and for us, the graphic designers, it was an incredible playground. The destroyed zones which we wanted to preserve, we appropriated them to turn into something else. Then in the areas that needed to be rebuilt, we were able to imagine our Detroit of the future. We didn't want to make a science fiction universe, but a world of anticipation. If we chose science fiction, we could have imagined flying cars, extraterrestrials, but those things are very far from our current everyday life. Anticipation is more about gleaning from our contemporary reality, the one we know, because Detroit is set in 2038, and 2038 is tomorrow. The difficulty we had was sticking to reality. That is to say, technology becoming more and more invisible, a lot more elegant, and at the same time, making it visual. So all the computer equipment, autonomous cars, we simply had to invent. They are in fact very technological objects, but at the same time remain very credible and ingrained in reality. To create a cohesive universe in the fashion and clothing of the human characters in 2038, I didn't want to put an accent on strange shapes, or really vibrant colors, and things we wouldn't know. That I wanted to keep for the androids. The goal was to create something familiar which we can identify with in this future setting. Working on the artistic direction for the androids was a bit special because this is a project about the place they could occupy in the human world. It was out of the question for them to be too beautiful or too perfect. They had to correspond to every social class, rich and poor. Inspired by everyday utilitarian clothes, I brought a modern touch by adding dynamic display surfaces, the armband we can see on the side, the triangle on the front and back, an LED. Like that, there's no confusion.
All right, man. We need to go.
You can't do that. Why are you sending a real person?
Once we cast the actors, we travel to meet them in order to scan their faces. We record the structure of their face with the scan. And we record the colors and patches of skin with photography. Once we have this information, we will use this as a basis for modeling and creating the characters. The artist will make it more realistic, but will also enrich it. He will propose ideas which we will develop together. Finally, we will have a character with character who corresponds to the project in the world. When the actors come to Quantic Dream, we show them the design, what their image will be, and what they will look like in the game. This extra information gives them another dimension and color to connect with emotionally. It helps them think about how to play their character.
Your mission. That's all you care about, huh?
You should consult a professional who can help you.
Beat it, you hear me? Get the hell out of here!
So there are 3 types of shoots at Quantic Dream. Shooting and performance capture, where you capture the whole actor, his voice, his face, and his body. These shoots are obviously done with American actors because the game's original version is in American English. After that, there are the body-only shoots, representing around 250 days of filming, while the performance capture is 100 days of filming. Now, body-only shoots, there are 2 types. There are the action shoots and the technical shoots, which are mokit shoots. Mokit is when the player controls a character on the screen, and he moves in an environment to explore it. This is of particular importance at Quantic Dream, and therefore we shoot a lot to offer a unique context for each scene and each character.
To prepare a motion capture shoot, we first get together to look at the sets we need, the animations that we want to shoot, which ones need to be grouped together, or which ones need to be cut and shot at another time, so that we get the most out of the shooting day. This often means shooting scenes out of order, especially those with big props or accessories, like a big car, for example. So we shoot all the animations related to that particular prop first. The biggest challenge for the mocap team was shooting a Spider-Man mokit. We had to build a wall and attach an actor to a harness with cables so we could pull him up and render him climbing.
The shooting on this game total took about, I would say, more than a year, maybe 1 and 2 years, with about 300 actors on set, so it's quite a massive production. But so much happened on this set, between the stunts and the shootings with a little girl and all these great actors that we had. It was really a very, very memorable journey for the team and for myself.
Today, Detroit has over 37,000 animations. When we retrieve the motion capture data, it's just a cloud of points, which represent all the markers worn by the actors. From this cloud of points, we have a phase called retargeting, which gives us a skeleton. This skeleton will be applied to the characters of the game. There is still work to be done, but this gives us the main movements. Since we are working on something very realistic, we must recognize the actor and also recover all the emotion he expresses in his performance. We use a system of facts, an identity card for each actor. We make the actor do a whole range of facial expressions. Then we recover all the expressions and paste the animations on a puppet that Jan has prepared. I then recover and refine these poses. I might stretch the lip, reinflate a cheek, tiny details that make the finished product really capture the actor.
Because of the nature of our mocap system today, when we receive the animations, we're missing eye movements, and so the character has that dead look. He really has no eyes, so then it's a big part of the work for the animators to find the regard of the actor in relation to his position, in relation to the body, etc.
It was crazy when I saw the newest model for Kara, because they've been working on it, and this was the first time I literally jumped in my seat. It not only looked so much like me, it was the fact that it looked so lifelike. It wasn't that it looked just like it was a camera, it was something else, you know, but it looked alive. It's exciting, and it's kind of terrifying.
Game after game, we learned the rules of optics and filming, and our goal with Detroit Become Human was to have cameras that would actually emulate the optics of a real physical camera. So basically dealing with real-world imperfections was our main task, and just to make cameras look as real as we can.
Once the animations are shot and processed by the animation department, integrated and polished, we film them. That is to say, we really do a mise en scène, as in cinema. The real difficulty of our job is to know if these cameras are telling us something. Are they in the emotion of the scene? Do they describe exactly what the action must convey, what must be felt? The most important challenge for me was one of the final scenes where Marcus decides to start the revolution and go to the battlefield. Very quickly, we imagined this to be a huge sequence shot. We wanted the feeling of a cameraman running behind us, while showing Marcus, the androids who help him, the person shooting at us, etc. Above all, it was necessary to say to oneself, this scene is very violent but does not glorify war. On the contrary, that war is something improbable and absurd. It was really a fun challenge.
The idea was to say we have 3 characters. We would like each of them to have a specific cinematography. We wanted Kara to be much more filmed with some kind of handheld camera, to have something very living, very breathing. For Connor, we wanted something very cold and very perfect. And for Marcus, we wanted something epic and spectacular. So it was about the filming, but it was also about the photography. So we worked with a director of photography to give each character a different lighting, different key colors. Each of them would have their own worlds. And finally, we worked with the composers, so they would create a specific sound for each character, so each would have his own world and his own style.
Alright, I just did a Google search and they had a $37 million budget making this. It's a lot, but again, the amount of work that goes into it's insane. I have no idea how people are even able to do this. And one last thing before I finish this whole series is I hope in the future we have androids. I doubt anytime soon, and probably not even in the next 10 years, that they will be ever as advanced as in the game here. I don't know if I'll be able to live in my lifetime. Maybe, yeah, I'm pretty young, so maybe I'll be able to see it in my lifetime. But it's insane. I don't know how they come up with the story and everything. But thanks for watching, and this is the end of Detroit Become Human.